Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi there. Come on in. Just going to get this shared out really fast. And it's good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, October the 3rd, 2019. And this is going to be a fantastic day. It was interesting. I got to looking at the weather just a minute ago, and we've got one little tiny storm cell getting ready to hit the community that I live in West Central Indiana. And then it's going to clear up and be pretty much nice weather all day. A very consistent 72 degrees. Don't know that it gets very much better than that. That is probably pretty much ideal weather, right in that mid-70 range. I love that. So good morning, Chainbreakers. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise, and I want to welcome you in here today. This is going to be another fantastic day. I got an interesting message yesterday. Yesterday, if you recall, I was talking about some of the attacks that hashtag Uplift and Rise and Chainbreakers 365 Live have gotten, both in social media. Kind of some of the haters came out, but also in the algorithms. And while the algorithms haven't necessarily changed, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second, it's interesting how some of the messages started changing, and some of the very people that were speaking out against this show are now starting to like it again and apologizing for their previous behavior. So if for those of you who have touched those people, I want to thank you for that. But this is the time that I want to say good morning. Susan Sherman, good morning to you. Nathaniel Banks, Bob Jones, thank you. Good morning. I'm glad that all of you are here. I know there's a few others. I can't see who you are yet, but just drop a little message in there. Say good morning to me. I'll say good morning to you, whether it's now live or it's in replay. I'll be glad to send a little message back out later. But more than anything, we need to make sure this message is getting out to more and more people. So what I want you to do is this. Reach down and hit that share button. That's right. Reach down and hit that share button. Let's get this message shared out so we can start impacting the lives of others. The other day, I asked you 3 questions. Who are you? In other words, if people were to stop and describe you, what would they say? Who are you? The next was, what things in your life have shaped you into becoming the person that you are today? And the last question was, what do you want to be? So that last question is really what I want to focus in on, because those things that have shaped us, we can say a lot of things about those. There are some people that have taken devastating blows to themselves, huge setbacks that make us stop everything in our lives to be able to go back and grasp that thing that means so much to us, that it's who we are, that it is one of those very core base values in our lives, and gone out and tried to figure out how to grab back a hold of it again. There are people who have ended up homeless, and some people become crushed by that, and some people rise. So that's kind of where I'm going into, because I want to take a look at, who do you want to be? Who do you want people to end up saying you are? Because if you cannot define who it is you want to be, then we end up becoming exactly who it is that other people say we are. That is your mission in life. What is your mission? And this doesn't matter whether it's in your own personal life or if it's in your business. So let me talk about in your own personal life, because people will talk about you. Yes, people will talk about you. What is it you want them to say. Because if you don't define that for yourself and you don't start living for who it is that you want to be every single day, and if your behavior doesn't line up with who that mission for yourself is, then you completely become at the whim of what people say about you. So what I want you to do from a personal basis is not only be short-term focused. And when I talk about short-term focus, I want you to live for the day. I want you to notice what's going on in your life every single day, because it's in those things that we take notice of is what becomes of us for our day. What kind of day are we having? And if we're so focused on being driven and flying by that we don't notice the things around us, that we don't take time to appreciate those, then what we end up noticing is those huge negative things that end up hitting us, and we missed all the strong possible positive things that happen every single day. But I also really want to focus in on being long-term focused, because that's in who you want to become. That's also in who you want to become, because that's part of that mission. That's who you want to be defined as. I want to talk about that from a business perspective too. Or if you're in business, and meaning if you're in sales or if you're in management, you need to know who it is as a business that you are. What is your mission as a business? And is that defined so well that all of your employees know it? Because if it's not so well known that all of your employees know it, then they're all going about doing their own thing. And at that point, you become exactly who it is that people say you are. Being in a mission is what gives an organization, a business, an industry, a not-for-profit, a charity, that mission is what defines us. That mission is what drives us. That mission is what we as one team all want to try to achieve and become. That underlies all of our behavior. That underlies all of our interactions with clients and customers or potential clients. That underlies who it is that we want to become. There's a great example of it, what's been going on in our country in the last several years. And I don't want to necessarily get political, and that's not where I'm trying to head, but I want to take a look at this as an example. Donald Trump created a slogan, make America great again. Make America great again, or MAGA, right? So it became a great slogan, but he never defined what that was. He never defined what that truly meant, not so much that everybody, including his supporters, really knew it. So what he ended up becoming is exactly what the pundits, exactly what his opponents, exactly what all the negative press was. They defined him because he didn't define himself. He didn't define who he as a candidate was and who he was serving and what he was doing. Make America great again is a slogan. It's not a mission. What is your mission? Who is it that you want to become? What is it you want to be known as? That's your mission. And when you're not following your mission, you're allowing people to choose what they say. So when you start, now that we're in a world, we're in a society where people go online every day and they leave reviews. They leave reviews about who you are, what you stand for, what you'll be, what you'll become. Is it so well defined that they know that? Or are they just creating their own opinion because it's not well defined? In doing some introspective look in what this show is and what it represents and what I want to be, I've got an idea of what I want to be able to serve. But is that consistent with all of my interactions? I've had to do some retrospective look at it and really kind of define who it is that I am and what I want this show to really, truly accomplish. And I think it's in that nebulous edge that some of the definition gets lost. And that's what I want to help. That's what I want to define for this show and who it is that I still want to become. And some of that is still defining in me. And I'm working on that as well. I've got some projects that I'm working on that hopefully I'll be getting going here in the very, very near future. But this isn't about me. This is about who you want to be. This is about mission. This is because if you don't stand for something, then you'll fall for anything. If you don't take a stand for what it is that's important to you, what's important to you as a person, what's important to you as an individual, what's important to you as a group, what's important to you as an organization, a business, an industry, if you don't take a stand for what's important, for what it is that defines you, for what it is that you want to achieve, then you will fall for anything. And then we're all reaching and grasping for straws at everything. I want to be here. 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 I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to achieve this. And we start grasping at every opportunity. And what we end up becoming is this wild department store that still doesn't be defined as anything. There were five and dimes back in the age that were essentially department stores. They had a little bit of everything, but nobody truly came in that niche and defined who they were, what it was they wanted to achieve, until Walmart, until Sam Walton came along and started defining what Walmart stood for, what Walmart established as an organization. And I'm not trying to create an ad for Walmart. What I'm saying is he was closely and clearly defining it. We become, when we set that mission, when we become so focused on what that mission for ourselves is, we end up becoming who it is that we have defined in that mission. We end up becoming that because we grow into that position. It may not be who you are at this moment, but it's who you want to become. And as you focus in on that on a daily basis, as you focus in on that, when that underlies every part of your actions, your behavior, your goals, your achievement, everything you do during the day, then it ends up driving everything that's behind you as an individual, as an organization, as a business. What is it that when people get done with you and they leave their interaction with you, what is it they'll say? What is it they'll say? Something that was consistent with their mission? One thing that I like to do in my job as a client success manager for TrueCar is, as I move forward every day and I go into my dealers, what I want them to do and what I want them to think of is every time Brad comes in, he brings value. Every time Brad comes in, he gives me something to think about that I didn't think about before. He gives me a different way to look at things. He gives me a different way to notice what's going on in my own business that I may or may not have noticed. He gives me something that's going on in the industry, and I grow and I'm educated because of it. He brings value. I don't say that. I don't talk about what I'm doing when I go in and do it. But when they stop and acknowledge me for bringing value, and I learn something every time you come in, there's nothing that could be greater to me than that pat on the back, because that to me says I did my job. I brought value to them. I did exactly what I designed myself to do in this position. Is your behavior and your job and your actions consistent with that? Get that so defined that you know exactly who you are and what you do every day. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I want to thank you for joining in and for all the comments that you're doing in here. Thank you so much for participating in this show. The best way that we can get this show to grow is doing exactly what I just said earlier, and that's share this out. But hit the like, hit the love, share this with your friends. If you have trouble seeing this live, you can catch it on replay. The best way to always catch us is daily, every single Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. on Chainbreakers 365. If you can't find us there, go to chainbreakers365.com where you can find all these videos. You can also find Chainbreakers 365 gear there as well. You can also, again, find us on YouTube at Chainbreakers 365. But every single day, find us live right here on Facebook. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, where I hope to be bringing you value here with Chainbreakers 365 Live. Thanks so much, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye now.